Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we will discuss on LeetCode problem number 1317, which is convert integer to the sum of two non-zero integers. Now, here the definition of non-zero is like this. Non-zero integer is a positive integer that does not contain any zero in its decimal representation. That means the decimal representation of the number, right? That number should not have any zero digit, right? That's when the integer or the number will call as non-zero integer. Now, what we have given? We have given an integer n and we need to return a list of two integers a comma b such that a and b are non-zero integers and a plus the sum of a plus b will be equals to n. Sum of a and b will be equals to n. Okay. We have given that the test cases are generated so that there is at least one valid solution. So there will always be a one valid solution, and we can return any of them. There can be multiple valid solution, and we can return any of them, right? So for example, this n is 2. Now we return a and b, two integers, such that a plus b is equals to 2 and a and b are non-zero integers. So here the output is 1 comma 1. We see there is no 0 here and the sum is 2. If we see n is equals to 11, we return 2 and 9. Can we return 1 comma 10? Like 1 comma 10? No. 10 will have 0, right? In its decimal representation. So that 10 will not be a non-zero integer, right? I hope you get it. What is non-zero integers? Let me redefine it. Let me explain it again. So non-zero integers are those integers that does not contain any zero in its decimal representation. For example, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does not have any zero. Now 6057. It is not non-zero. Why? Because it has 0 at second position, right? Not valid. Okay. And 2389, it's valid. There is no 0 here, right? Now, if we see the constraint, right? N is from 2 to 10 raised to the power 4, right? So, how can we solve this problem is we iterate through each value from 1 to n because n has a small range. It has a range from 2 to 10 raised to power 4. So, we can iterate through n values, right? From 1 to n. And then let's suppose that ith value is our a, right? Then what will be b? B will be n minus I, correct? So we are saying that a is equals to I. So b will be n minus I, correct? Now what we need to check? We need to check that whether I and n minus I are non-zero integers. That is the only part remaining. If they are, right, then we can just simply return this, correct? If if I and n minus I are non-zero integers, then we can just simply return this as a comma b, right? Now, how to check whether this I or whether this n minus I, basically whether any number is non-zero or not. So what we can do, we will loop through this. We will have this as a string, right? Right? We will convert the string, this number as a string. So for example, this I will take 60505 for example, okay? And I will loop through each character, okay? If any character is equals to 0, that means it has 0, right? So that number is not non-zero. Then we will return false. And once we after end of the loop, once we get the end from this loop, like we iterate through all the characters, we don't find any 0, then we will just return true. Okay, hope you get it. Let's go through the code. You will get more understanding on this. So what we first need to do, we first need to iterate through all the numbers from 1 to n. Now we need to check if is non-zero integer. We will create a one function which is non-zero integer is non-zero, which will return us whether this number is non-zero or not. So we will check for this. This should be non-zero and n minus or I should also be non-zero. If both the conditions satisfy, then we can just return them simply as a comma b, right? So I comma n minus I. Otherwise, we will return an empty string. Although it has been said that this condition will never come because there will always be a one valid solution. But for the sake of best practices, we are returning the empty string if there is no number we observed, right? Now let's just go through this function, how we will code it. We will have one num value. What we will do, we will first convert this number into string. So let's suppose we have string s, which will be two string of num. Now we will go through each character of s. Okay. Then after going through each character, we will check if ch is equals to 0. That means we find any 0 here and hence it is not non-zero. So we will return false. Otherwise, if we don't find any 0, then we just simply return true. That's how it works. Simple. Okay, now let's try to run the test cases. Okay, test cases are passed. Let's try to submit it. Cool. This is also passed. Right? It's actually a easy level problem. We just need to iterate. So let's discuss about the time complexity as well here. So this non-zero function is seeking a constant time because the maximum digit it can have, this is string, right? The maximum length the string is of 4 characters only because n is less than 10 raised to power 4. So this number will always be less than 10 raised to power 4. There can be maximum 4 characters, right? So this is constant only, and we are iterating from 1 to n. So the time complexity here will be O of n, right? I hope you understand it. If not, then please go through this video again. Try to solve this problem by yourself. I am sure you will get to know, you will get to understand this. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.